welcome to Entrepreneurship Today. I'm your host, Elaine Roberts, and we will be discussing autonomous cars. Today in the news, we're going to start with the topic of autonomous vehicles. As of now, autonomous vehicles have taken the world by storm. By definition, an autonomous vehicle can sense its surroundings and function without human intervention. There is no requirement for a human passenger to operate the car at any moment or to even be inside the vehicle at all. An autonomous vehicle can travel anywhere a traditional vehicle can go and can perform any task that a skilled human driver can. In regards to the current state of autonomous vehicles, many believe that autonomous vehicles will take over the road of the future. Yet, speculators say differently. Mary? Thanks, Elaine. Recently, many of the major participants in the autonomous car industry have either reduced their ambitious goals or completely given up on them. Last month, Ford and Volkswagen abandoned their self-driving project, Argo AI. This is largely due to the fact that it is simply difficult to make the software required for an autonomous car. Self-driving vehicles have to be able to operate independently in all circumstances. Humans travel millions of miles each day. Thus, there are untold numbers of difficult and uncommon scenarios that the software would have to cover. Unusual occurrences are by definition uncommon on their own. However, the sheer volume of unexpected events that millions of drivers worldwide experience indicates that unique incidents are actually very common. Thus, although the technology has amazing potential, it is challenging to master. All the driving circumstances we encounter as humans are vast. So, despite billions being spent on the technology, it is still yet to drive as well as a human. Because of this, some experts argue that it will take decades before the software is used across the world. Yet, in comparison, others, such as Tesla CEO Elon Musk, continues to make bold predictions. Let's watch this short clip.
Tesla car next year will probably be 90% capable of autopilot. For sure, highway.
We're probably only a month away from having autonomous driving, at least for highways. Like a Model S and Model X can drive autonomously with greater safety than a person. Right now.
Safer than a person by the end of next year.
Autonomous robotaxis for Tesla next year, and releasing it to the Tesla customer base next year.
I mean, it's looking quite likely that it will be next year.
Since 2017, Musk has predicted that the software necessary for fully autonomous driving cars will probably be available next year. However, the program has yet to come. Instead, because of Tesla's bold statements, the corporation has come under greater regulatory scrutiny. Investigations are ongoing because it frequently failed to recognize bikes while driving and rear-ended emergency vehicles that were stopped on the side of the road. Speaking of scrutiny, next, we will be discussing the economic and social impacts of autonomous vehicles. Passing it to Brenda in the studio. Thanks, Mary. The topic of autonomous vehicles is divisive. There are many opinions that circulate, but here at Entrepreneurship Today, we're here to find the facts. First, let's discuss the social impacts of autonomous cars. Socially, many believe that autonomous cars will lead to fewer accidents. Studies suggest that though there are several root causes for car accidents, the majority of them are caused by human error. For instance, attention and alcohol use while driving are major contributing factors in car accidents and account for the majority of fatalities. Thus, autonomous vehicles have the ability to dramatically lessen some of these human behavior-related tragedies. Another social impact of autonomous cars is criminal and civil liability. In other words, if an autonomous car gets into an accident, who takes the blame? Not only is this a moral issue, but it will also become a legal issue. The future of autonomous vehicles will be determined by a potential legal dispute between technology providers, insurers, and victims. Because of the emergence of autonomous cars, lawyers are preparing for this conflict. Legal professionals in the United States are carefully working to develop clear standards regarding who will be liable for the mistakes made by self-driving cars, because they are concerned about the intricacy of this situation. Now, onto the more economic side of autonomous vehicles. First, let's discuss travel time and traffic. On the positive side, autonomous cars could reduce congestion. Interaction between vehicles increases as they become more autonomous. At some point, autonomous vehicles may be able to communicate with each other, allowing for a smoother flow of traffic and a high efficiency, as cars will be able to go closer to one another, which will relieve congestion. This will rely on the extent to which autonomous vehicles are adopted. The more communicative autonomous vehicles we have on the road, the more significant this influence will be. On the flip side, some believe autonomous cars will cause more traffic. Fully autonomous vehicles could be available to individuals who are unable or unqualified to operate a motor vehicle. According to some estimates, this will increase vehicle miles traveled by 14%, possibly making congestion worse. This is due to the fact that AVs could offer new transportation options to millions of Americans. In many locations, driving is a requirement for employment or independent life. Automated transportation could provide millions more people access to this freedom. Thus, since more people will have access to cars, there will be more cars on the road, thus increasing congestion. In the end, it is crucial for stakeholders, including regulators and mobility-related businesses, to comprehend how automated vehicles can affect society and their business as automobile producers develop this technology and the general public gradually adopts the idea of autonomous driving. Now, it's time for a quick commercial break. Stay tuned as we will discuss our final findings and speculations after the break. Do you think the government is playing a big enough role in regulating autonomous vehicles? I don't. As of right now, the federal autonomous vehicle policy does not contain any new laws or regulations on automated vehicles. Instead, it solely provides guidance for the states. This means that they have only suggested policies, not binding administrative rules for the states to implement. That is not enough. There is a lot that states need to accomplish in regards to areas like traffic violations, insurance, licensing, registration, and more when it comes to autonomous vehicles, because, truthfully, the legal landscape for the regulation of autonomous vehicles is not far along. The legal environment, which covers a wide range of issues, such as liability and AV-related accidents, copyright to driving program software, or how automated vehicles may alter search and seizure laws, is largely unknown as of right now. Let's look at some statistics regarding state regulation of autonomous vehicles. 11 states have established laws governing autonomous vehicles. In addition, executive orders have been issued by the governors of Arizona and Massachusetts. Comprehensive laws allowing the testing of autonomous vehicles have been passed in California, Florida, Michigan, and Nevada. Nevada, the first state to enact legislation governing autonomous vehicles in 2011, permits the testing of these vehicles there, but only after they have been registered, insured, and awarded a certificate of conformity by the State Department of Motor Vehicles. Local governments cannot limit the usage of autonomous vehicles in Tennessee. Alabama, North Dakota, and Utah lawmakers enacted laws requiring the investigation and evaluation of best practices and safety requirements in a subsequent report with suggestions. Lastly, Louisiana incorporated definitions of autonomous vehicle technology in its Highway Regulating Act. Yet, federally, nothing. Despite some small efforts by state governments, there's no federal regulation on autonomous vehicles. Though autonomous vehicles are not dominating the road right now, I believe that the government should plan ahead and prepare for AV's emergence. Government regulation could anticipate and tackle some of the more complex challenges brought on by the AV technology before larger numbers of autonomous vehicles are in use. This way, when, inevitably, disputes develop, and the government will already have a body of common law established to fight these disputes. Join me and support government regulation of autonomous cars today by donating money to 314-000-CARS. That's 314-000-CARS. Do it! Welcome back to Entrepreneurship Today. Now it's time for Elaine's final word. In regards to autonomous cars, I think that we have a long road ahead of us. Because of the complexity of the software and the current rate that autonomous cars are being produced, I do not see them ruling the roads for at least another 10 to 15 more years. But I also think there should be no rush. We are going to want the best version of these automated vehicles out on our roads because we are ultimately trusting them with our lives. So, while experts are working on developing the best possible technology for AVs that will keep our roads safe, we should offer them the grace to do so without breathing down their necks. So, in the long term, I can see automated vehicles being a positive innovation if constructed correctly and safely. In regards to the government, I think that we will see more regulation as there are more autonomous cars on the road. So, I think that we will see stronger regulation in about 10 years' time. Our government usually makes regulations to fix an existing problem. So, I think that we will see legislation as more people use autonomous cars and have legal issues with them. Well, that's all we have here at Entrepreneurship today. I was your host, Elaine Roberts. Thank you for watching.